You know, I had a little thought lately, and said, you know, I wonder if I had to do like a one or the other, and it may be a combination of one or the other. You know, morning commute with Jason at 4, and you know, evening commute with Jason at 4 back home. Because it might depend when I wake up one morning. You know, because I do my videos at night for the next morning. But sometimes things have happened that I kind of want to talk about then, not, you know, making you wait a whole day or whatever. And then there's times where I leave work. Oh, hold on. I got Frank. Hold on, stand by. Stand by. I got Frank the tank. Say hi to the YouTubers. They've been waiting to see you.
Hello, YouTubers.
What are the chances of that? What are the chances? Frank the tank for my job. He was just leaving. I just caught up to him. Yeah, we'll have to do some chat sometime and upload them. Every time we go to lunch, every single day, practically. You know, we're chatting about what happened. He was just in Las Vegas recently. He goes once or twice a year. He was up there with his dad, and you know, just a vacation kind of a thing. You know, so he's telling me about that, and you know, his dad was still asking him about, you know, he wants to go out and buy some more house, property or so. You know, another house. He's got a few of them that he owns. He lives in one of them, and he's thinking, you know, he's got some cash on the side. He doesn't want to just leave it. He doesn't want to invest it because he doesn't trust the markets right now. But he also doesn't want, you know, a bail-in to, you know, potentially take his money. And I'm gonna say I don't know that a bail-in will happen like it has in the EU zone in America. Number one, we have our own central bank, so they'll just print whatever they need to print. Last thing they want is for people to not trust in the banking system. So you go and, you know, tell somebody your money's being taken to be put into the bank, it could be a problem. And I don't know that our government would go that far when, again, we have a Federal Reserve. We also have a president who is continually saying the dollar is too strong, the dollar is too strong. And I was just about to read an article right as I was leaving work, and I think I responded to an email or something. I forgot to go look at it. But it said, it may have been a Zero Hedge article, and it said something like, you know, Trump talks about the dollar being too strong again, devaluation or whatever, and then look at what happens to, the dollar dives, you know, dollar index, which is the dollar value, you know, dives. I didn't see how far it dived, or whatever, just based off of his comment. But I gotta tell you, these last couple of days, 2 or 3 days, I'd say, just that feeling in the pit of your stomach, you just know something's like, man, you can feel it in your bones. It's about to go down. Something's about to happen. I'm watching silver and gold. It's like, not that they're alive, but it's like they know, the market anyways behind silver and gold knows something's going down, and it is just pushing and pushing back on the banksters. You know, and I read this article today from Silver Doctors. From a guy named Clive Mond, I think is his name, where he says, look, you know, I don't want to rain on the parade per se, but looking at the COT report and the technical charts, especially the COT report of the short side, you know, the short sellers, the big commercial banks, we may be in for a large decline in the metals, especially silver, he says, like scary, you know, decline. But over these years, I've always learned that what you expect many times can become the opposite. You expect gold and silver to get slammed, they actually go up. They start to rise, you think they're going to actually be onto something, there's a trend now, they're going up, and then they get hit. And then you say, oh, well, we've been noticing that at the end of the month, you know, options expiration for all these paper contracts, they do a number on precious metals, especially silver. And then you have, like recently, end of options expiration, and I don't know if it may have been last month, I don't know if it was this month or this past, in other words, end of March or end of February, maybe even both, actually, I don't remember, where, okay, it's the end of the month, options expiration, and nothing happened. Okay, maybe they're a little late a couple days, which wouldn't be normal for that to happen, but for whatever reason, maybe what happened here, a little delay, nope, nothing happened. Oh, metal stayed up. And then like a full week or two or so later, all of a sudden we got that nice little hit, I think, that brought silver down to like, so maybe it was last month, I'm trying to think, but it brought silver down from like 1840, recently, 40 something, 50, almost around 1850, down to 1790. I was just talking about it, like 1790 something, and it hung out around $18. It's back up to 1850 again, to like roughly, around there today. Gold's back up, a jump, big jump. So it's like, and I was talking, one of the conversations we had at lunch today, Frank and I, was, I wonder what the stock markets have done during war times. Like, say, going back to World War I. So World War I, World War II, Vietnam, stuff like that. The Gulf War, 1990, 91, or whatever. Just that sort of stuff. Change lanes. All right. And I said, when we get back to work, I'll just look at online real quick and just kind of take a peek and see if I can look at a chart or whatever. And the bottom line is, sometimes the market went down, sometimes it went up, sometimes it just kind of stayed flat, and sometimes it was like kind of going down during the war, then went back up during the war, and then leveled up. I mean, just no rhyme or reason really. But I was telling him, I was like, that Dr. Oruru guy, I was mentioning to you guys the other day, I said, hey, North Korea and the aircraft carrier, he's got a vision supposedly, from God, whatever, that he gave years ago, that they're going to fire a bunch of missiles at our carrier and yada, 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 and he saw it, and then they're going to also hit South Korea. And I'm reading today, the leader of North Korea, they have sometime during the year where they allow certain outside journalists in, and he's saying, hey, tomorrow, meaning Thursday, we got a big surprise. What does that mean? I don't know. But we're also sending like a strike group, carrier group, whatever, out right outside of North Korea in the waters. And I said this the other day when the first aircraft carrier was over there. And I said, I want to remind you of a little video. I was searching for this guy, and lo and behold, I find my own ugly mug from 2011 doing a video on this, playing what he said in full. Wow. So I sent the link. Here's the link if you want to watch it, whatever, and that was it. So yesterday, and I didn't say this yet, but yesterday, which Tuesday, I said this, or I didn't say, I was thinking, I want to find this guy's accuracy rating. So I'm searching for some different keywords and things like that, and then here's a mainstream article from the UK on this guy, and they listed his top 10 predictions, notable predictions that he got right in advance, which he also called the 2008 crash in advance, and that was listed, amongst other things. Some earthquakes and things that he nailed in other countries, some flooding, major flooding that happened in a couple different countries. But I've noticed it appears to be years in advance that he says these things, and then they come. Not that that's bad, because that gives us ample time if we're to believe what he says, and he does have a track record. And a mainstream UK site, media site, posted this years ago, but showed here's what he got right. So I'm just thinking, if he gets the North Korea thing right, and we actually lose an actual ship, we get nailed, is that going to be positive or negative for our stock market? And here's the other question. Whether normally that would be positive or negative. The elite, along with the government cohorts, are looking for a reason. Remember, they can never let something happen without a reason. Got to have a reason. So they could say the war brought the stock market down, or they could say if the aircraft carrier gets attacked, that brought the stock market down. Financial issues all of a sudden start to rise up, etc. And if this guy, this North Korean dictator, decides to do this, and it happens to be before Congress reconvenes to talk about the debt ceiling, you want to talk about them raising the debt ceiling of epic proportions? Our aircraft carrier just got attacked. We don't have any funding for war with the military budget. Emergency congressional session coming back. We're coming back early to pass the debt ceiling budget stuff, and it's a big doozy. I mean, I could just see so many things. I've been thinking about all this stuff I'm telling you now for like days now. All these possible scenarios, how they might play out. And I remember Cliff I shared this with you a little while back, like January maybe time frame. I've been in the Webbot reports. He doesn't publish them. He takes that part out, but he notified me. And one of the things he notified me on happened to me. It was a near miss workplace accident. And I sit at my desk all day writing code and stuff. What could possibly happen to me as a workplace accident? I'm not doing anything physical. My fingers, get cramped up. Like what could happen? And I almost got there, living crap shocked out of me. But anyways, it was in the time frame he said. So I came out to my car. Oh my God, I had to do an urgent video. Guys, it just happened. The Webbot thing he said, it just happened. He's like, I don't have much data, but it's just a near miss. So, just giving you a heads up. So it happened. Well, he said, and then he mentioned some other things a couple other times. But I think it was this January, and I would say that is either that or February maybe. And he said sometime around, I think April or May time frame, that something's going to happen, and it's going to give me notoriety of, hey, J-Step4 said that, and it just happened. Something like, or something like that. Not a lot of data again, but he shared that with me to say, hey, it's something you're going to get some notoriety on something that you've talked about or said or whatever in the past. And I'm really thinking of two things, because I've always been at the firm. I've always had a firm belief. Again, the club has to blame everything on some bad guy. They need to get rid of all the documentation or shares and whatnot and stock certificates and things that are held at 55 Water Street at Seed & Co., which is the depository trust agency. And it just so happened to get flooded, $36 trillion vault when Hurricane Sandy came by. Not waterproof, apparently. $36 trillion worth of assets in a vault that is fireproof and waterproof somehow got flooded. And then when they were cleaning it up, a fire broke out and damaged more stuff. Follow me? They blamed it on this nonsense. They always do that. So my firm belief was always, you're not going to find that the Comex defaults, they don't have the silver, so they shut it down because they defaulted. No. An event will happen that forces them to shut down, or something to happen to where they can't issue futures contracts. They can't, something happens of that nature. Not that they're going to default. That was one of my scenarios. Chicago, and then there was some nonsense about, I said there could be a terror attack there that caused the same thing in Chicago. They got Rahm Emanuel leading that place over there, mayor, and there was a minuscule little event that happened that was a non-issue, but it was fake. And they said, oh, these guys were driving around in a white van and yelled out, we are ISIS and we were here to kill you, and then they sped off in the white van and police tried to chase them and they couldn't catch them. So I thought, well, there could be the terror attack that happens to affect the not CFTC, although it's the Chicago, or the, something futures, commodity futures commission, whatever. But CME Group, who runs the COMEX, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, there's another one there that's close by. A lot of stuff with that exchange is right there in the city. So I thought, oh, a terror attack, real or fake, whatever, hoax, false flag, whatever it may be. Oh, we have to shut it down because of this event, or the event caused it to shut down. So that was one thing that I said in the past that I thought, maybe, I wonder if that's about to happen. I wonder if that's really about to happen. Because the LBMA, London Bullion Market Association, lets Thomson Reuters with CME Group, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, set the fix and help set the fix, whatever. Well, I just read from Zero Hedge that the London fix, the one everyone's saying they're rigging it down whenever it serves these bankers the best, because if it's too high, they're going to take a beating, so they just fix it lower amongst themselves. And it said only 5 members joined the fix out of 12, and it dropped like $12 to $15 below spot price was the fix. Out of nowhere, just market, or waterfall at the London Bullion Market Association, LBMA. Massive crash, down $12. Yet spot price, according to CME Group, COMEX, was $12 or $15 higher. And then someone sent me an email the other day that said, hey, circuit breakers triggered on Silver. I said, well, how did I not catch this? What? So I look at it. Not those circuit breakers, the one I've always told you about, that they passed the law in November 2014. Not those. It was a different circuit breaker. And it had to do with spot price, which is CME group setting, COMEX, and LBMA price, silver fix. And apparently they were so far off, a 17-minute circuit breaker was triggered, and Reuters, Thomson Reuters reported it. And he sent me the link, and I've read it. I'm like, oh, I said, by the way, this isn't that kind of circuit breaker like we're talking about, or I've been talking about. However, it's a different one. And they wouldn't let anything trade for 17 minutes because they were so far off. I've never heard that before, but it was this little 2-sentence little blurb there, and I was like, oh, no kidding, interesting. So I'm wondering, does the CME group, the price setters and all them, really need an event because things are getting so out of whack now between the price over here and spot price, and they're having trouble? Only 5 members showed up for the gold fix out of 12, it said. And they didn't say anything about any circuit breaker triggering for that, but it did say the price was way off. Why is it way off? So that's one thought of mine that I thought would happen. And remember, you know, why did these supposed jihadi ISIS people, it was fake, never happened, by the way, in a van, happened to be in Chicago, you know. So I thought, there may be something to this later on, guys. Next attack could be in Chicago, and they're gonna play back to these guys in the white van. And remember that? Oh yeah, they hit, and the CME group's down, and you can't trade futures contracts right now. There's a big problem. You know, that's just a thought of a possibility, is all. But that's one thing. What if the other thing is the video I did from 2011? Showing this Dr. Oru guy, you know, he calls himself a prophet of God, whatever, and he has a track record. Whatever he gets, he's got a good track record, I'm going to tell you. What if that event happens? I would get notoriety, so to speak, for both, because I was maybe the only one ever talking about the North Korea one on all of YouTube at the time anyways. And to date, I don't know if anyone's ever talked about that from him. Now, granted, I didn't make the prediction. That's him, but I found it and I shared it, and it's a thought we need to keep in our brains here. And then I'm seeing this massive escalation all of the sudden when we really need it badly, because the economic numbers are worse than terrible. And Trump is dumping out Bannon, who's a good guy, who's trying to get him, no, stop the war, stop the Syria stuff, stop this stuff. Nope, and I need you to Kushner to work it out. Well, you can't get a warmonger, neocon type of a guy, and a conservative like Bannon to work it out. You know, hey, devil and God, need you guys to work it out. All right, you know, God wants peace. You want massive war, destruction, pedophiles, everything else. Work it out, guys. Yeah, okay, not gonna happen. So we may be in for some stuff here in the very near future. None of which that I want. And if those things happen and precious metals skyrocket, and I'm going to come out and say, see, I told you to get all those precious metals, it's still not going to feel good in the pit of my stomach due to the reasons that metals are skyrocketing. It's not going to be a good day. But since it's going to happen anyways, and these people like to do these wars and do all these things, what can you and I do about it other than say we have to prepare for their horrible decisions and actions? And now they're saying, you know, China's going to amass a huge army on the border of North Korea if they don't do this and that, and we're going to do never before things, you know. And now they're saying, you know, Korea will get ready for a surprise tomorrow. Wonder what the surprise is. It may be nothing. They've shot off missiles in the past on the same time frame, because it's like the dear great grandfather leader anniversary of something, whatever, and they like to put on a show. It may be nothing more than that. However, if they do fire off a missile, doesn't go anywhere, we shoot it down, China shoots it down, someone shoots it down, they get pissed off, hey, we weren't even attacking you guys, and then they do attack it, you know. This is just going to lead down a very, very bad path. So I'm thinking of doing, again, morning ride with JSnip4 and possibly a afternoon ride home with JSnip4, where I just kind of discuss things like this that are on my mind, not necessarily reading a news article or something. Oh, pensions bad again. Oh, retail apocalypse. You know, that's when I sit down at my desk and I've got a lot of stuff to look at and put together and read it and comment. But stuff happens during the day. Sometimes it happens at night after I've done my videos. I'm not going to go out there and do another video, but I can do it on the way to work, kind of a thing, and then just simply upload it and be done. So I'm going to probably start doing that, just an FYI. And we'll see what happens with that. A little different, you know, mix it up a little bit. Morning ride with JSnip4. Take care.